Hey guys, figured it was time that I did a follow-up review on the mower and my thoughts on it now after I've got just over 49 hours on it. So before we get too far into this, I want to cover two things. One, I'm not a mechanic, so any mechanical questions, you're better off going to the dealer that you bought it from or dealing directly with Cub. And two, this is the 54-inch deck and I have zero vibration out of it, never had an issue with it. So get those two things out of the way, because that's a couple of the questions I get quite often on my first review I did. But let's get into the mower and would I buy it again, my thoughts on it, etc. I want to show you real quick. I mowed yesterday and I want you to see just how much I do mow, because that definitely plays into my thoughts on this and would I purchase the same mower again. Now I'm cutting, guesstimation, right at 4 acres here. And I also want to point out real quick, depending on where you live, your thoughts on this mower could be drastically different than me. And by that I mean, if you live on the West Coast or the Plain States where you don't have to deal with a lot of high humidity, I think this mower would be perfect for you. You're cutting dry grass all the time, you're not going to have the issues. I live in the Carolinas on the East Coast, so we have very high humidity damn near every day of the summer. So it doesn't really matter what time of the day that I choose to mow, I'm going to be cutting wet grass. And that wet grass is very difficult, especially with the amount of acreage that I do cut. And I do cut every week. I try to if the weather is going to let me. But with this mower, I found that, you know, with wet grass, it's like concrete. It gets up under the deck and it just sticks there. And of course, that's going to be dragging the motor down, and it's going to hinder the cut, and you're going to get choppy cuts and so forth. So my 2 hours that it would take me on a good day ends up being 3.5 to 4 hours, because I'm continuously having to go very slow, stop, clean the deck out, etc. And my biggest worry on this is the longevity of the motor, you know, because it's continually under the strain, and I'm worried that, you know, 3 or 4 years I'm going to have a worn out motor on this mower. So one thing that I have found that I did, and I did it on this last cut, and it seems to have worked to help out quite a bit, is the exhaust here where it kicks out the grass. Let me show you. I actually drilled a hole right here and put a bungee on it to keep this raised up. So that seems to have worked fairly well for me on this last cut. It actually didn't bog down too bad, and I didn't have to get up under there and clean the deck out midway through the cut. So I'm hoping that is going to be a mini solution for me on that. We'll find out, because I probably got, what is this? Probably got 4 or 5 more cuts this year. Yeah, but would I buy the same mower again? I don't think so. I don't know if they make this same model with a bigger motor. I mean, this is the 24 horse, but I think I'd have been better off going with a bigger motor. But again, like I said, you know, if you live in the Plain States or on the West Coast where you really don't have to deal with the humidity, when the grass is dry, this thing cuts like a dream. It's hardly ever dry for me. Now, the rest of this video is basically I'll go over the features of the mower in case this is your first video that you're watching, you know, first review of this mower, and I'll let you know those things. But for the people that's familiar with this, that's just my thoughts. You know, I wish I'd have got a bigger motor on this model. I'm not sure if it comes that way, if it's even available, but yeah, there you go. Okay, right here, this is neutral position down. Just put it in. You can go forward, back. That's your operation. You've got adjustable handles here. You just move this to adjust to your arms. Now I did buy the armrests. They're separate costs. I think it was $100 for these, and I do not regret that, just simply because of the amount of acreage I do cover. I do rest my arms here. All right. This is how you raise the deck, lower the deck. You push in the pedal here. This goes from 4.5 down to 1. You just get it in the position you want it, release the pedal, and there you go. That, I do love that feature on this mower. Okay, let me show you. You have the ability to get to the pulleys and belt. As you can see here, you just got a screw. You take that out, you can take this off, and there you go. Easy access to the pulleys and belts. Clean up under there, and you just put it back in place. And the little wrench is right there for that. Now, of course, your gas tank, I think it's, I'm not sure, like three or 4 gallons. Seat raises up, and there's the battery. As you can see, I need to clean up under there. But right there's your PTO to engage the blades, throttle, ignition. One thing I want to cover real quick, because I did have this question from a gentleman. Okay, obviously that position right there is low, turtle. But when you start this, you want to go all the way forward. That basically acts as your choke. But when you engage the PTO for the motor, if you feel it there, when you bring it back down, it actually go into a slot there. That is the position that you want the motor in when the PTO is engaged in your mowing. Okay? Alright. Easy access to your oil filter right here. As you got your fuel filter. Now when you go to change the oil, it's actually on this side. A little nifty tube right there. You can see. Just loosen that up and it drains right out. And again, as you can see, it's a Kohler 7000 series, 24 horsepower motor. Now, right here, you can see you have a hose connector. You just hook your water hose onto there, turn the water on, engage the PTO system, and it'll clean out the lower undercarriage of the deck, which is very important. But I also want to point out one thing I've learned is that does not get all the way over to here. You're still going to need to take a stick or something and poke up under there to clean this side of the deck out, because the water's just not enough. The deck's too big to get onto this side. And I do believe that's about it. Yep. It's going to be a beautiful day out here. Hope you enjoy the video. Please give me a like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah.